And as I was walking back to my car, I get a phone call from Jade, and I answered it, and I was like, hello? Just normal. And she immediately starts saying, what did you do? What did you put in my drink? Then I heard her say, Blaise, you're scaring me. And he was like, you're scaring me. And she was like, I know you put something in my drink. She's like, I knew my drink tasted funny. And she was asking him to empty his pockets. And she was like, let me see what's in your pockets. Let me see. And he was like, I don't have anything. So this whole time I'm like, Jade, like trying to get a response from her.
Like I'm at a friend's house and I think she's having an allergic reaction. Let's see, I guess I'll go to the way to find her. I don't know, it's an apartment complex. Is there anything else there? Looking, I'm looking around. Just give me a second, I'm looking around. I don't know what's going on. I think she just
She was 5 months pregnant, cooking dinner for the man who was supposed to be the father of her child. By the end of that evening, she was face down on her bed, something red coming from her mouth, barely able to breathe. And as the paramedics rushed in, the only person who could explain what happened, the man who had been sitting right across that dinner table from her, told them she was having an allergic reaction. An allergic reaction. Her name was Jade Benning. She was 24 years old. She had a name picked out for her daughter. That name was Ivy Blair. And before Jade could ever hold Ivy in her arms, both of them were gone. Let me back up and tell you who Jade was because she deserves that. Before we get into this, thank you. Genuinely, thank you for every comment, every like, every share. This community right here on the Dark Passion Crime TV, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. You are the reason we keep digging into these stories. If you're new here, hit subscribe right now. You'll get more cases just like this one. And now let's get into what happened to Jade Benning. Jade Tristan Benning was born March 6, 1998, in Little Rock, Arkansas. And she came into this world with more energy than most people ever find in a lifetime. From the age of 7, she was a cheerleader. She became captain of both the JV and varsity squads at Little Rock Central High School. She graduated in 2016. But here's the thing. While everyone saw the cheerleader, Jade was already dreaming about something else entirely. She wanted to be a chef. And she wasn't playing around about it either. She went straight to culinary school at Brightwater Culinary Arts, graduated in 2020, and landed her first job as head pastry chef at Mirabella's Table. She even built her own catering business, JTB Eatery. But Jade's dreams were bigger than her hometown could hold. So she packed up and moved to Nashville, Tennessee, where she became a head chef at Ernest Bar and Hideaway, becoming known for desserts that people still talk about. Her manager was so devastated by her death that she refused to take Jade's creme brulee off the menu. They light a candle for her every single night and blow it out together. That was the kind of person Jade Benning was. The kind whose absence leaves a hole that nobody else can fill. She was a daughter, sister, a friend who showed up for people on their worst days, not just their best ones. And she was about to be a mother, to a little girl named Ivy Blair. She had already moved into a bigger apartment to make room for her baby. She was ready. Now let's talk about Blaise Taylor. Blaise Taylor was a former Tennessee Titans NFL scout, 30 years old, came from a well-connected football family. His father was a longtime college football coach. Blaise had played wide receiver at Arkansas State, graduated with a business degree, and worked his way into the NFL scouting world. On paper, this man had everything going for him. He met Jade on a dating app called Hinge in 2022. They met in person in August of that year. In November of 2022, Jade found out she was pregnant. And that's when things went sideways fast. Blaise did not want that baby. He said it clearly. He wanted a paternity test. He pushed for Jade to end the pregnancy. He told her if she kept the baby, he wanted nothing to do with it. But Jade had already decided. She had already named her daughter. She had already rearranged her whole life to be a mother. And no amount of pressure from Blaise Taylor was going to change that. So here's the question. When a man makes it this clear he doesn't want a child to exist, what happens when he runs out of options to make her change her mind? On February 25, 2023, Blaise called Jade. He hadn't been in contact with her for a while, but he told her he wanted to talk about the baby. Jade invited him over for dinner. She was hopeful. She always saw the good in people, even when the signs were telling her something different. They had dinner together. They had drinks. And then something went very wrong. Jade started feeling like she was having an allergic reaction. She asked Blaise to call 911. He did, at 9:38 p.m. He told the dispatcher she appeared to be having an allergic reaction. He never told them she was pregnant. Think about that for a second. Your girlfriend is pregnant, 5 months along, and she is collapsing in front of you. And you call 911 and don't mention the baby.
I got my friend's house, my friend, she's having an allergic reaction. Let's see, there's a bubble to so we can find her. I don't know, it's an apartment complex. Is there a male with her? Looking, I'm looking around. Just give me a second, I'm looking around. I don't know what's going on. I think she just... give me 1 second. Okay, how old is she? 23, 24. Okay, is she awake right now? Yes. Okay. And she was having, do you think she was having an allergic reaction to food? I don't know, we got cookies and pasta. I don't know what she's done, if she's done anything today or anything, but everything was fine, and then I don't know what's happening. So she got sick coming out of her mouth and she's shaking. So you think it's possibly a reaction to not having food, is that correct? I think so, I don't know. Okay. I don't think she's allergic to anything, I don't know. If she is or not. It could be an allergic reaction. So are you next to her, back next to her, yes sir? Yeah. Okay, does she appear to be breathing normally? Yeah. Okay, does she have any difficulty swallowing? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Okay. Is she recovering normal? Any questions? Yeah, she's awake. Okay. So can you just gently roll her onto her side right now? Yeah, she's on the side. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because if she's having like vomit or anything else that's coming out right now, so you just keep her under her side right now. You can finger squeeze in out only what you can see of her patient's bowel. Okay. And you can wipe her mouth. Okay. Hello, sir. Hello? Yes, I'm in the house. I'm in the house. Okay. Can you ask, is she able to answer if she's having difficulty swallowing or feeling any swelling in her lips or throat or face, anything like that? No. Okay, she's really close. I think one of our friends is on the way. Okay. I don't know what to do. No, is there anything else I should be doing? Okay. And then, does she have an EpiPen? Do you have an EpiPen? Do you have an EpiPen? I don't think so. I don't think so. She's not responding. Okay. And what is it? So other than her just feeling kind of weak and passing out, does she have any other symptoms right now? No, she's... No, I mean, she's pretty relaxed. She's laying on the side. Okay. Okay, did she appear to have any rash or hives anywhere on her body that you can see? Not that I can see. And I don't see anything on her legs or on her arms, so she was fine. Okay. And does her condition look to be any worse? I don't think so. I don't really know how to tell. Okay, no, it's like, because if she ever looks at reaction, what types of rash, hives, it'll be redness, her mental status getting any worse, or breathing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Okay. Alright, so we already have help on the way. So just okay. So if I let you stay on the line, or what do I do? So I'm just going to give you the charts, but do you need me to stay on the line with you until the paramedics arrive, sir? Well, is there anything else I have to be doing? I don't think just got, I think there's nothing else. Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, because so right now, because she's awake and we're grabbing, she's moving air freely. She's not struggling to breathe or wheezing or gasping or anything like that. No, that looks like she's throwing up some. Okay. Yeah, so you can go right for now. Okay, I did. I'm moving them now. Okay. And she's really moving air. And what? Does it look like she's freely moving air? Yeah, she's breathing, yeah. Oh, okay. So we're just gonna keep her on her left side right now. We're just trying to keep her super comfortable right there, okay? Okay. Alright, so just right now, nothing for any ear frame. Just keep her in that comfortable position right now. Just have her medication there for the paramedics if she has any with her. Make sure you don't I don't know if she has any medication to be honest. No, that's okay, sir. And then just be at the door to let the department in. And if you look around and see there's peak and mail, I just want to make sure, because the building that they're describing has two separate addresses. So I want to make sure they're on the same one. So if anything changes before they arrive, give us a call back. It should be arriving there as quickly as they can, okay? Okay. Alright. I think I'm here on. Okay, that's awesome. Alright. Thank you so much. Okay, you're welcome.
He was frantic, but not really giving us any really useful information for us.
Okay, and what do you mean by that?
We really had no idea why we were finding her in the state that she was in. So,
Okay. Can you describe to the jury what you mean by that, not finding her in the state she was in?
we were expecting to see signs of an allergic reaction. And we didn't see any hives on Miss Benning. We didn't see any swelling. We didn't have any answers to our questions.
And when you got to the apartment, was that scene considered safe?
Initially, yes, but we didn't really have our firefighters there yet. And with uncooperative family or bystanders, we deemed it unsafe.
Okay. What do you mean by uncooperative family members?
The male there was kind of getting in our working space, and we couldn't properly assess and treat the patient.
When paramedics arrived, they found Jade face down on the bed. There was a red substance coming from her mouth. Blaise was described by the fire medic, who responded as frantic, but not in a way that was helpful. He was in the way. Paramedics had to keep telling him to step back, to let them do their job. He wouldn't stop trying to interact with her. But before she lost the ability to speak, before things got that bad, Jade Benning made a phone call. She called her best friend, Najia Jackson. And what Najia heard on the other end of that phone will stay with anyone who hears it. Jade wasn't talking to her friend. She was talking to Blaise. And Najia was hearing everything. "You did this to me. You put something in my drink. I knew my drink tasted funny. Can't even walk straight. You did this so something could happen to the baby." And then silence. Jade stopped responding. Let that sink in.
And on that February 25th of 2023, have you ever met Blaise Taylor?
Not in person.
And describe kind of how that happened. You were with Keontae.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all had been at school.
Yes.
Did you go straight to Jade's?
Mm-hmm.
And what did you do when you got there?
When we got there, we said hi, and Jade started like packing up the food, and she like put the foil on it, put it in a bag, and kind of set it off to the side. And we were just like chit-chatting about what they were gonna paint, and we talked about like going to a concert, and we were laughing at the fact that I didn't know how to play spades. So that was pretty much like the basis of the conversation.
And can you describe Jade's kind of kitchen area when you got there? Was there food out that they were eating, or kind of what was the setup at the point you got there?
When I got there, the food was on the stove. It was kind of packaged. The canvases were kind of off to the side. The island was pretty clear. I didn't, and Jade had a glass of like a pink drink, and Blaise wasn't drinking anything. There was no cup in front of Blaise.
And did you drink anything while you were there?
I didn't drill.
Was that something you brought with you?
I did not.
What was Mr. Taylor doing, and where was he at in the room?
He was sitting beside Jade at the island, and he was engaging with some of the conversations, and he was just shuffling Uno cards the whole time.
Was anybody playing Uno?
No.
But he was shuffling cards.
Mm-hmm.
And did Mr. Jones, did he interact with Mr. Taylor?
Yeah, like ever so slightly. It was kind of like a conversation just in the kitchen.
And do you know approximately how long y'all stayed?
Probably like a little over 15 minutes, like 15 to 30 minutes.
And during that time, did anything seem amiss to you?
Nothing too alarming except the comment he made about his artwork that he was going to make, because the whole basis of this project was to make something for the baby's room.
Hearsay. It's the statement by the defendant, Your Honor.
Okay, I don't think she's gotten there yet, but do you want to ask about what?
Yes. You said that he made a comment about the painting he was going to do. What was his comment?
I had asked like what they were going to paint, and Jade was like, I'm going to make something.
Hearsay.
Do you care to be heard on?
I think it's unnecessary, so no.
Okay.
I do think it goes to Jade's state of mind, Your Honor, but
All right, I'll go over the objection. It goes into, was that comment from Mr. Taylor right after the discussion with the artwork with Ms. Benning?
Yes.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
what did Ms. Benning say she was planning on painting?
She said that she was going to paint something for the baby's room. She didn't know what yet, but she knew that's what she was going to paint, something to hang in Ivy's room. And when I asked Blaise what he was going to paint, he told me he was going to paint a black hole. And I was like, a black hole? And he was like, yeah, I'm going to call it midnight. The further you look, the deeper you'll go. And I was like, well, okay, But I was like, well, why don't we just add like a little bit of white to the, canvas to make it look a little lively. And that was kind of that. But it was a very dark demeanor about this painting after Jade said that she was going to make something for the baby's room.
And were they actually painting while you were there?
No.
So this was discussions about what we're about to do.
Yes.
And was anything else in this other than the comment that you made about the painting?
Not that I can think of or remember.
And did you get food?
I did.
And did y'all leave?
We did.
And after you left, did you communicate with Jade after you left?
Yes.
And you don't have to tell me what you said, but how did you communicate with her?
I texted her.
And did she respond?
Yes.
And did you have a couple of texts back and forth?
Yes.
And can you describe Jade's demeanor when you left?
She seemed really happy, very excited to spend the rest of the night with Blaise, and probably excited that I was leaving now.
When you left, where did you go?
To Keontae's house.
And what did you do when you got there?
I ate my chicken Alfredo.
And were you planning on hanging out with Mr. Jones all night, or what was your kind of plan for that night?
No, I just stopped by. We were just studying, got food. We were just like hanging out, and I was about to go home.
And did you actually leave Mr. Jones's house?
I did.
Did you stop anywhere before you got home?
Yes.
And where did you stop?
A gas station.
And what, if anything, happened while you were there?
I was pumping gas. And as I was walking back to my car, I get a phone call from Jade. And I answered it, and I was like, hello? Just normal. And she immediately starts saying, what did you do? What did you put in my drink? Then I heard her say, Blaise, you're scaring me. And he was like, you're scaring me. And she was like, I know you put something in my drink. She was like, I knew my drink tasted funny. And she was asking him to empty his pockets. And she was like, let me see what's in your pockets. Let me see. And he was like, I don't have anything. So this whole time I'm like, Jade, like trying to get a response from her. So because I didn't get a response from her, I texted her and I was like, are you talking to me? What's going on? And then she was like, I know you put something in my drink because I can't even walk to drink. She was saying that she couldn't feel her legs. And then she said it again. And she was like, you put something in my drink. You did this so something could happen to me.
All right, give her just a moment. You need Kleenex. I want everybody to be on hearing, number one, but then let you calm down. Okay.
Can you repeat the last thing that you heard Jade say?
She said that you did this so something could happen to the baby.
Did she say anything else?
She was saying I'm about to feel like I'm about to pass out. And then like towards the end of the conversation, she was like, is key. And then nothing else.
Like what?
She was like saying, it was very wavy, and she was like, is, I heard is, and I heard with, and I heard key. And so I then merged Keontae on the phone because I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with Jade. Like, something sounds wrong. Like, listen to her. And he's like, Jade, like, I'm here. And at that point, you just really couldn't understand what she was saying anymore.
Those were the last words Jade Benning was able to speak. Not to her mother. Not to her best friend. But to the man who she says put something in her drink. Jade was rushed to Vanderbilt University Medical Center. 2 days later, on February 27, 2023, baby Ivy died. Jade held on a little longer. She fought. But on March 6, 2023, her 25th birthday, the life support machines were turned off. Jade Benning never got to meet her daughter. She never got to turn 25. She died on her birthday. The medical examiner ultimately ruled her death a homicide by cocaine toxicity. Her unborn baby died from fetal demise due to maternal cocaine poisoning. The level of cocaine found in Jade's system was described as not consistent with recreational use. Prosecutors alleged Taylor dissolved cocaine in a liquid and had Jade drink it, targeting the baby and killing them both. Now here's where the case gets complicated. And the trial that is happening right now in Davidson County Criminal Court in Nashville makes that very clear. The prosecution's case is built on a few key pillars. 1. Motive. Blaise Taylor did not want this baby and made that fact well known. He had allegedly asked someone what could be put in a woman's drink to cause a miscarriage. 2. Opportunity. He was the only person with Jade that night. They had drinks together. There was 1 cup found on the scene, and it had alcohol in it. Jade was pregnant and wouldn't have been drinking. So whose cup was it? And why was only 1 cup there if 2 people were having drinks? 3. Consciousness of guilt. After Jade died, Blaise packed up and moved to Utah and took a coaching job at Utah State. He never gave detectives a full interview. And when he called his mother that night, he didn't tell her Jade had been poisoned. He told her Jade had COVID. His own mother. Why would a man lie to his own mother about what happened, unless he knew exactly what happened? The defense's argument is different. They told the jury Jade had a history of drug use. Marijuana, mushrooms, Adderall, alcohol. They say the level of cocaine in her system could reflect her own recreational use, not something Blaise gave her. They point out that Blaise was the one who called 911. They say he cooperated. Their position is that there is not enough direct physical evidence linking him to the act of poisoning.
Now, you stated on direct examination that the patient did not or was not involved in any drugs, to your knowledge. Is that right?
Correct.
Now, to be fair, you did not test her for drugs, did you?
No.
So you're only going off of what she's sharing with you. Is that right?
Yes, and somewhat by her vital signs and her demeanor.
Okay. But you'll agree with me that certainly someone's vital signs and demeanor is not indicative as to whether or not they're using drugs.
Not always correct.
Would it be surprising to know that Ms. Benning had sent a message to Ms. Najee Jackson that she was doing so much Adderall and
I
alcohol?
object to the hearsay that's to be outside the scope of the witness's knowledge.
May I respond?
And whether it's surprising or not is relevant.
What's your response?
Yes, there's just been an allegation that Ms. Benning has not done any drugs in her
Said to
home.
her knowledge. Now they're objecting to the hearsay.
In regards to
So
impeachment,
if you want to ask, does she have any information about that?
Dr. McLeod, did you know that, or would you have known that Ms. Benning had felt that she was doing so much alcohol and Adderall that it was
I'll
causing?
sustain the objection.
Can I give you a hypothetical?
Yes.
If a patient,
Object, this witness has not been tendered as an
Hypothetical
expert.
about what?
about a patient doing drugs or alcohol.
You want to
Ma'am,
ask this doctor if they want their patient using alcohol or Adderall while they're pregnant?
No, I don't. What I would like to do,
What's your question?
what I would like to
What's
do,
your question?
my question is whether or not, based on this doctor's statement, that Ms. Benning was not doing drugs and nor alcohol, and that she would be able to tell by her vital signs.
Is that your question you're wanting to ask this lady?
The question I would like to ask her is whether or not someone feeling as though they're doing so much Adderall and alcohol, their body is shutting
She
down.
doesn't have any knowledge about that. And I've sustained the hearsay objection.
So am I not allowed to ask
I
this?
sustained the hearsay objection about your question.
Let me ask you in another way, if I may. Did Ms. Benning ever share with you that she was doing Adderall?
No.
Did she ever share with you that in November she was doing mushrooms? did she ever share with you that she was doing alcohol?
No.
Did she ever share with you, as her medical professional, that she felt like she was doing so much Adderall and alcohol that her body was shutting down?
No.
If she would have shared that with you, would that change your previous statement in regards to that she was not doing any drugs?
If she told you she was using drugs, that would change your opinion about whether she was using drugs, is what she's asking.
Yes.
Okay.
Fair enough. Thank you. But what you've just represented to this jury, is it not, Dr. McLully, was that based on your knowledge and representations to you by Ms. Bennings, she was not doing any drugs or alcohol at all. Is that correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Any other? Any redirect?
Come on.
Okay.
May this witness be excused.
But here's what the court sessions have been revealing, and this is where it gets interesting. During the search of Jade's apartment on the night of February 27th, law enforcement discovered that the crime scene had already been accessed before they got there. A friend of Jade's, acting on instructions from Jade's manager, Bridget, had gone into the apartment, taken photos, blown out a candle, locked the door, and removed a comforter from the bed. That comforter, which had what appeared to be vomit on it, was handed to the crime scene investigator in a trash bag in a parking lot. A trained crime scene investigator, Jason Terry, testified about what he found and what he collected. He photographed the apartment. He collected glasses and bottles, including a glass with clear liquid, a Minute Maid pink lemonade bottle, and a V8 splash bottle. These were items homicide detectives had already removed from the refrigerator and placed on the counter before he arrived. Here's what he did not collect. Food items from the stove, including what appeared to be cookies and a chicken Alfredo dinner. A pink cup near the kitchen sink. A cup on the nightstand. A supplement bottle on the nightstand. A surveillance camera in the corner of the kitchen. The closet, full of drawers, boxes, and clothes storage, was not fully searched. And the backpack beside the bed. He looked inside but took nothing. In a case where the central question is whether someone was poisoned, does it not matter what was in the food? What was in the cups that weren't collected? What was in the supplement bottle? What was on that surveillance camera that nobody collected? Defense attorneys drilled down on every one of these gaps during cross-examination. And the officer was straightforward. He collected what homicide detectives told him to focus on. The food wasn't collected. The pink cup wasn't collected. The camera wasn't seized. And on top of that, the apartment had already been entered by civilians before law enforcement ever executed the search warrant. The scene, as crime scene investigators testified, was not as pristine as it should have been. So here's what I keep turning over in my mind about this case. The prosecution's strongest evidence is arguably not physical. It's behavioral. The phone call Jade made to her best friend. The story Blaise told his mother. The 911 call where he never mentioned the pregnancy. The fact that he moved states right after her death. The testimony that he was in the way when paramedics arrived. Not cooperating, just interfering. But the defense has a real argument when it comes to the physical evidence. Several potential items were never collected. The scene was accessed before investigators got there. The comforter, a key piece of biological evidence, was handled and moved by a civilian. And there's no video of the evidence collection once the patrol officer's body cam went off. So what does that leave the jury with? They have a dying woman's words, spoken on a phone call she made deliberately, as if she knew she needed a witness. They have a man who lied to his mother, fled the state, and never gave a full account of what happened. They have a toxicology report showing a fatal level of cocaine with no evidence of a cocaine habit in Jade's life. And they have a crime scene that was imperfectly preserved. The defense will say the gaps in the evidence are reasonable doubt. The prosecution will say the behavior tells you everything you need to know. Here's the question I want to leave you with. Jade Benning was 5 months pregnant, excited about her life, and made a phone call in what may have been her final coherent moments, making sure someone could hear what was happening to her. Does a woman who accidentally took too much of her own drugs call her best friend in that moment to say, "You did this to me. You put something in my drink"? Or is that the sound of someone telling the truth in the only way she had left? That is for the jury to decide. And the trial is happening right now. Thank you for watching this with us. Truly. Every like, every comment, every share. It means everything to this community on the Dark Passion Crime TV. We are on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. If you haven't subscribed, do it now so you don't miss the verdict in this case. We'll be following it every step of the way. And drop your answer below. Based on everything you heard today, does the behavioral evidence alone tell you what happened in that apartment? Or do the gaps in the physical evidence create enough doubt? We want to hear from you. We'll see you in the next one.